Hi, my name's Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today is my last day. I'll be doing this podcast. It'll be the last day until next year. That's right. I'll be back on, I believe, the 1st, which would be a Wednesday. And I am going to be working behind the scenes here pretty much to produce new content and so on and so forth. I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. But there is one more thing I really want to encourage you to be very careful during this holiday. There are a lot of people out there who would love to separate you from your hard-earned income, and there's a lot of people who are unscrupulous. They just don't believe in working hard for themselves, so they rather take what you've worked hard for. So just be careful and be, aware of your surroundings. Other than that, what is your goal? Because that's what it's all about. New year, new goals. I'm not talking about New Year's resolutions. I know a lot of people like to make New Year's resolutions, but I don't believe in them. I believe in, making a change for ourselves, make sure that we do things in a better fashion and a better way. So one of the things I will leave you with today is be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I love that. I love that verse from the Bible because it tells us, hey, if we're going to change, if we're going to make any type of transformation, we have to feed our mind with new ideas, feed our mind with new thoughts, because if we keep on with the same old thinking, we're going to keep getting the same old things in life that we got. So for you guys who are doing so well in your life, that's not a bad thing at all. But however, for you people that if you believe that there is something missing, you believe that there is something that you can still achieve with the rest of your life, go ahead and think about that. Brainstorm, change, pick up something new to learn, inspire yourself to do something brand new for the year. And I tell you, I'll tell you one of my goals. One of my goals for next year, and it's going to be a 12-month goal. It's going to be create my first book. I already have the name of the book, so the only thing I have to put to it is just the material. And I'm going to tell you what I did. Now, over the past couple of years, I've learned a great deal about pain, about loss. I've learned a great deal about introspection, a deeper level within myself. I went on a journey for self-discovery, and I've learned a great deal. But when I looked at the book that I was writing, and with all that I've learned, and the name of my book is called The 10 Commandments of Change, and I got rid of it. I deleted the whole thing because I just didn't like it. Didn't make sense to me no more. And so now I'm starting fresh. And hopefully this time next year is my goal to finish that book, The 10 Commandments by Starting Change. And I know that I believe that all the things that I've learned, I'm going to put into that book, and I believe it's going to have some clear, actionable guidance for anyone to take crucial steps needed to achieve lasting change in their own life. And I believe that I will have something that will be empowering for you to basically unlock your own inner potential and evolve into the incredible person that you were always meant to be. I believe that we can continue to grow. I believe that we can continue to learn. And no matter what stage in life we are in, I mean, if you're not growing, you're stagnant, So you got to always be ready to learn something new. So if you feel like there's something missing in your life, or you feel like, hey, you know what, I still have a whole lot left to give, and I want to do something for me, and especially parents. I mean, parents who've given so much up because they wanted to be there for their family and their children, and I understand. I get all that. So, at times you say, wow, I've lived my life already. And now, I'm tired. I believe you still have a whole lot left. I believe the only reason you feel tired is because you're telling yourself you're tired. I believe that you have a renewing in you, and I believe that you have an opportunity to continue to grow because your best is yet to come. And I think that we are all capable of continuing to grow, learn, and build in any phase of our life. Now, I understand sometimes there's some mitigating circumstances that will prevent people from doing the things that they really want to do, and I understand that. But, I think that we have an opportunity to take this new year, 2025, and do something really spectacular for ourselves. If you feel that way, definitely now's the time to go ahead and get pen to paper or finger to keys, whatever your preference is. I think it's time to say, I'm going to rewrite my life story. I'm going to rewrite what it is that I believe I'm still capable of achieving. I'm going to go ahead and pave a new road. So I think if that's you, I'm with you. I'm definitely with you. Go ahead and write out that goal. Go ahead and do whatever it is that you want to do, because believe it or not, you deserve it. You deserve so much. And I am with you 1000%. If I can do anything, what I really wanted this podcast to do, and when I first started, and I always tell that story, when I first started this podcast, I really was just talking about what I was dealing with, when my wife got sick and so on and so forth. But over time, it evolved. Over time, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to share what I was learning. I wanted to share how I started growing. And I realized that some of the emails that I was receiving, my message was actually resonating with them. So that helped me to continue to go. Because at one point, I thought maybe this is just not the path I should be on. I know it was therapeutic for me. I know it was a blessing for me because it gave me an outlet to be able to talk. So in that sense, it was a blessing. But in the very beginning, in the first 9-10 months, I didn't get not one subscriber. I didn't get not one person, I believe, that was listening to this podcast. But then I realized something. I started taking a look at the numbers. I started looking at the different numbers when you have people who download and people who listen. And then I started saying, wait a minute, people are listening. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize it. People are listening and people are downloading it to listen to. So when I started seeing that, and believe it or not, if you're starting a podcast or you're starting something on YouTube, it's so funny because you say, God, nobody's listening to this. I wonder if my message is even resonating with anybody. So one day I said, you know what? I was talking to my daughter and I said, I just think I might just, stop, close up shop. She said, no, I love it. Especially don't stop Poetry Friday. I started laughing because I actually enjoy Poetry Friday too. So that's a great thing. I said, okay, well, I'll think about it. And next thing I know, I prayed on it and somebody wrote me and said, hey, look, thank you so much for that message in your podcast. It really resonated with me. I went through something similar and I'm going through something like that now. And I'm thankful for your message because I realized I am not alone. I realized that I am not the only one who can feel this, who are going through it, and so on and so forth. So I had a message that resonated with someone. So if you, and there's another message with this too, this podcast, we had like Google at one time, Google's forever making changes. And I don't have a podcast where it's like showing video. So all mine's is like a radio format almost. And so when Google changed the format and said, we're taking Google Podcasts and moving it all to YouTube, this happened like six months ago, about 6 months ago. I realized ain't nobody gonna listen to this. I'm not gonna get anybody listening to this. And mind you, I only had one subscriber back then, actually two, and they weren't on YouTube. They were just subscribers on my Podomatic podcast. And when I moved to YouTube, still with the radio format, no video. I had a couple of videos on there, but for the most part, it's basically all radio format. And you want to talk about a message. Some people say it takes a little time to grow. Some people grow within just weeks. And I realized that in what I'm doing, I'm just learning this format. I'm just learning everything that I'm talking about. So it's a slow message, and I realize that I'm starting to grow. I'm starting to see people now. When I only had two, I got 17 subscribers, and not only that, the message that I've been talking about has actually been downloaded. Probably over 200 and something times within the past month. And that's huge for me because for one whole year, we're talking about downloads. For one whole year, it was like 5 downloads, 3 downloads. And that's what I was talking about. People are listening, even if it's only 5 people. But now I'm in the hundreds. And now when you talk about over a course of a year, I'm in the thousands. And I was like, oh, this is definitely growing. Whatever it is that you want to do in your life, you got to put yourself out there. You have to go for it. And the podcast, it's just going to grow. And I realize that. And I hope that I can continue bringing good content that will be of value to everybody who would listen. So that's my goals. I have more goals. Eventually, I would like to have guests on here as well. And I will. But like I said, I'm just learning this format, and I'm just growing, and it's all about the goals. It's all about stretching ourselves. It's all about pushing ourselves to different heights in life, and I want that for you. So whatever it is that you want to do new, and whatever it is you feel that you're just, you might be too old. Age is just a number. That's just you. That's thoughts in your mind. Those are only thoughts. It's not reality. So you have to push past those self-limiting beliefs and thoughts that are running through your head, and know that if you drop all that and just start a little bit at a time, you will grow in whatever aspect of life you want. Hey, again, I thank you so much for listening. Be blessed. Have a wonderful Christmas and a holiday and a happy new year. I thank you so much again for listening. Be blessed. And I have a poem for you. It's called Women Are a Blessing. Here it goes. She smiled with the essence of beauty, radiating sunshine. Her scent is as a bouquet of roses integrated with tulips blooming in the springtime. Her eyes, oh how they shine, and are like the golden chariots of heaven, displaying the treasures of her spirit and soul. With a voice of angelic tonality that has you intently listening when she utters simplistic words of joy, which are like music to your ears. She's a woman strategically created to enhance our atmosphere. Our purpose is to love her, treat her with dignity and respect. I'm consumed by her wisdom that God has blessed her with. She's without a doubt a virtuous woman, a rare gem in the world of torn reality, as her path is laid straight. A woman with confidence and direction. She's a woman who loves being a woman and enjoys the essence of an intelligent man. After all, she deserves nothing less. A man who will love her for who she truly is and will not hinder her beauty but accommodate it at best. She's the mother of blessings, the mother of wisdom, the mother of love, a wonderful gift from above. Love is not blind. It's embracing the very essence of a woman's core values, her virtue, her intelligence, her nurturing nature, and with age, her valued lessons. A woman, what a blessing.